Hello, everybody. We are live. This is The Secret to Creating Confident Kids. This is actually a special edition this week because we are with Claire Clements from Positively Empowered Kids, PEK for short. And we are going to be spending the next half hour with her. I can't wait to find out more about the wonderful things that you're doing at the moment and the wonderful things that we have coming up. So if you'd like to introduce yourself, Claire, and we'll start with there, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me firstly. Really excited to be here today and to be able to talk about, as you say, all the exciting things that are coming up. So my name is Claire Clements. I am one of the co-founders, along with Jackie Wilson, of Positively Empowered Kids, a multi-award winning social enterprise. We're based in Nottingham, but we do lots of work online, as many of us do now. So we've got a wide reach around the country and beyond.
That's brilliant. What? I'm asking what, but I know very well that there's a special date coming up really shortly in a couple of weeks. Can you just tell us a little bit about that, and we'll come back to that a bit later.
Yeah, sure. So I guess I should actually begin by saying what we actually do, other than what it says on the tin. So we are all about empowering children and families to thrive. So we want to be preventing poor mental health, and so we're promoting well-being, lots of holistic ways that you can help with your children, with anxiety, with confidence, all that sort of thing. And it's culminating in a massive festival that is taking place in Nottingham on Sunday, the 25th of September. So it's the Positively Empowered Kids Festival at Nottingham Racecourse. And we're just so excited about it. Just so unbelievably excited to have so many families there.
Yeah, I can't wait, really. I missed it, the first one. I didn't make it to that one, but this one is going to be my first. So I'm really excited to go to the event. And it's just around the corner. It's not long from now. Not long
Absolutely.
at all.
Not long at all. Yeah,
Okay.
The first one was incredible, but very different, and it's going to just be even bigger and better.
So can you talk us through about how it all came about, when it started and how it all came about?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've already mentioned my colleague Jackie. Both she and I run our own wellbeing businesses that work with children separately. And we met probably back in 2017, I would say, through networking, through promoting our own businesses. And obviously, we both had a passion for the same thing, which was helping the next generation, helping particularly with an early intervention and prevention kind of concept. So actually reaching children before they got to the stage of really needing extreme help, by needing to go to the GPs, taking tablets, all of that sort of stuff. So we clicked straight away because we had a mutual passion between us. We both then, as our relationship grew, as we got to know each other, we both kind of had this idea that we wanted to run an event, because actually, as well as myself with Positive Pants, which is my other business, Jackie's other business, Emotions Toolkit, as well as us, there are hundreds of other people out there doing amazing work with children to support them. And we kind of said, wouldn't it be great to have as many as possible in one place so that families could just come and see what was out there and what was available to them? And so that's what we did. We came up with the idea of a festival. So we don't go small on these things. We started big with the idea of a festival. And in a 6-month turnaround, we created an incredible event at Nottingham Racecourse. And we did have hundreds of families there, hundreds of experts, lots of workshops, lots of demonstrations. And I'll talk more about that later. But what that did for us was really show us that there was a need for it. And in particular, a lot of the experts that were there really loved the atmosphere that we'd created, because it was all about collaboration rather than competing. So it's not trying to sell to a family or child, it's trying to just show them different techniques that they could use and helping them to find the resources that were going to best suit that child. And so off the back of that, it's kind of just snowballed. And that was sort of June 2019. In December 2019, we decided that we wanted to become a social enterprise. And the aim of that was because we wanted to be able to reach as many children that wouldn't be able to necessarily afford to buy tickets. We wanted them to be there and to experience it. And we knew the way for us to do that was through applying for funding and grants. So that's how we became a social enterprise nearly 3 years ago.
Wow, and it's been an amazing ride, I would say, between the early idea to where you are now. So I take my hat off you completely to what you've achieved so far. Could you give us a little sneak peek of maybe a couple of things that we should expect this year?
Well, this year's festival, I mean, there's so many different elements to it. We've taken sort of little strands of the first one that kind of happened completely organically, and really grown it. I guess for us, obviously there are going to be lots of experts. There's going to be lots of people to signpost that you can get advice from. So we're delighted that we've got a partnership with CAMS, for example, the Child and Adolescent Mental Health Services, and their mental health team. They're both going to be there to be able to, answer your questions, help you with any inquiries that you might have about that. So that's a really great thing for us to have there. But as well as all the experts, for us it's about the children, and the whole aim of the festival is to show children what things you can do to boost your own well-being and mental health, your own tips and techniques that you can kind of go, yeah, that could work for me, I like that idea. But we also want to really empower children. So one of the things we're really excited about is we've actually got a number of children that are actually stall holders themselves, because we actually want to show that not all children necessarily are suited to the academic system as it is now. We all have diverse needs. We all have different ways of learning. And for us to have been able to mentor some of these children, we've been in one school and done a mentoring program. So they're going to be having their own stalls on the day. And they're children that are not necessarily accessing the academic curriculum. That they're coping, they're getting by, and they have to be in the system. But we want to demonstrate to them that they can achieve outside of academics. So we've got some young stall holders, which we're really excited about. We've also got lots of young performers. So we've got a stage area this time, much bigger. The first time we just had a little open mic stand for people to just hop on and do what they wanted. This year we've got lots of performers from around this area, in particular in Nottinghamshire, Derbyshire, and they're going to be hopping on and showing us their talents. So we've got poets, we've got spoken word, we've got some dancers, and we've got some amazing singers, both solo and a lovely group called the Invisible Friends. And they are a group of young people that have got invisible illnesses. So they're going to be performing, as well as our headliners, which is Chloe Dring, who's also part of the Invisible Friends. She was on Michael McIntyre's Unexpected Star of the Show a few years back, and on The Voice Kids she's going to be performing. And we've also got the fabulous Mama G. And Mama G is, did you meet Mama G when you were at Glowworm Festival? Did you have the privilege?
I don't think so.
Probably would have known if you had.
Oh, okay.
So Mama G is a fantastic pantomime dame, and her role is to really promote inclusivity, diversity in children, about loving yourself and being who you want to be and knowing that that's okay. And she does this through storytelling, using the LGBTQIA+ sort of platform that she has as well. And she's going to be leading another very special part of our festival, which I don't know if you want me to talk about that now or in a little while. Maybe I'll save that for a little bit later.
Okay. I really don't mind. I just want to find out everything about the festival.
Well, not everything. Okay, I'll just talk.
Well, I'm bringing my kids along, so they're going to have such a fun day. Just getting involved in everything and running around. So the more you tell me, the more I tell them.
Brilliant. So, well, I would say, I mean, that prompts actually the question of, the age range for the festival. So we would say, it's suitable for all children, but we're really targeting of children aged from about 5 up to about 12. So there's going to be plenty of things for everybody. So you can kind of expect the normal, family fun day. So there'll be the face painting, there'll be the bouncy castles. But as I say, as well as all these extra things that young people are doing, we've got lots of things that children can try out. So lots of different sports and activities, lots of therapies that the parents can try, like a nice hand massage, for example, for some self-care. We've got a meditation going on, but we've got lots of sport as well. So there'll be some basketball and some archery and football, because all of the active things that our children love to do are actually tools that we can use for ourselves in the future and that they can use. So when they're having troubles, when they're feeling a little bit stressed with life, that they can use that as an outlet and know that they've got that, as a tool in their own toolkit, really, to be able to access. So we've got a gaming arena, and really excited about that, because I think, that's the thing that's massive for children nowadays. So they're going to be able to do Super Mario Kart, but using a bike to help to generate and take part. So some really unusual things, with the idea of kind of talking about how you can kind of keep calm when you're gaming. So perhaps if you're, how you can balance your screen time, how parents can manage that, how if you lose, you can actually cope with that in a healthy way rather than it being problematic. So really excited about that, and I guess the Cape Walk is one of our thing that we're most excited about. So we've created this idea of the superhero Cape Walk, and I have to say really carefully, and I don't know if you picked up on this before, Trevor. I think you might have done actually, but cape sounds remarkably similar to the word cake.
It does.
And we know that everyone loves cake. So quite often we've said the Cape Walk and people said, well, there's going to be cake. So if we can get a sponsor, then we'll have some cake. But it's all about children sort of recognising the superhero that they have in themselves. So what we're going to be doing on the day is we've been very lucky. We're able to use the Nottingham race course, and usually they race all the horses on. So we're not going to do the full course because it's pretty massive. But half of the race course, which takes about 20 minutes to walk around, we're going to be encouraging all the children and families that are going to be there, all the stall holders, to either come dressed in your superhero kit or bring your superhero cape.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, when we're all going to walk around the race course. And the idea is to really show the children about how they can believe in themselves. We've got a fantastic activity book that we've created in partnership with CAMS that shows children different things they can do to boost their confidence and self-esteem. And that superhero Cape Walk is really going to kind of consolidate that. There are opportunities to make your own cape with Gedling Play Forum, who are going to be there. And we've also got some capes for sale that you can use as well. But it's just I think it's going to be really powerful, actually. I'm looking forward to walking it.
Definitely. I mean, my kids are forever making makeshift capes out of whatever they can find around the house and running around. So they'll be well up for it. They'll be loving that. So yeah.
I expect you to be in your superhero cape as well.
I might have to borrow one. I might have to borrow one or make one on the day. We'll see how that works out. Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm actually really at the moment. Obviously, national thing, first week back at school for a lot of schools. And some others went back last week. It's quite hectic. It's really hectic. My daughter, this was her first year, so she's gone to her first class this week. Really stressful. I never realized that just attending school is actually quite a big thing.
And is
any
that
advice
for you or for her, would you say?
I think it's both, really. Both. I think it's stressful for new pupils arriving in a new place and entering a new environment to learn, and it's also stressful for the parents who are trying to figure out what on earth to do.
Absolutely. And I think
any advice?
Yeah, of course. And I think there's two elements to that, because for me and within Positive Empowered Kids and my other business, we do look at the ecosystem of a child. So the impact of that child's experience is going to be their own experience, but it's also going to be those that are surrounding them. So it's other peers, it's parents. So if you're a parent who is sort of quite panicky and becomes sort of quite anxious, then your child is probably going to pick up on some of those traits. So when you said the word stressful, like, that's why I asked if that was you or her, because you're going to probably bounce off each other a little bit. And I think, in situations like that, it's very easy to say lots of things, but I think organisation is one of those things that can make a big difference. So kind of actually being aware of what things you could put in place to make things a little bit simpler. And if you can kind of actually be talking really positively around the experience and actually reframe some of those stress and nerves as being excitement, then it takes a whole different tone. One of the things I always do when I work with children, they'll often describe themselves as being anxious. Most of the time, what their experience isn't full-on anxiety as we as adults can experience, but we use that terminology, and so the child then picks up on that language. And the problem with that is when we use a word like anxiety, it's actually quite fear-inducing. So it sends a signal up to our brain, and it sets an alarm bell off, and our brain goes, I recognise that word. I need to now respond to it. So your body naturally will then go into that mode of anxiety and try and recreate those feelings. So one of the things I'd say is just be really aware of your language. And if you find you're using the word anxious a lot, or it might be something else for you, see if you can just change it to something that isn't quite as extreme. And usually with children, I'll work with them and I'll say, what is that description? What does anxiety look like? What does worry look like? What does concern look like? And sometimes we make up a really silly word for it to replace it. So it might be that I'm feeling all wiggly or all wobbly. And we then agree as a family that we're all going to replace that word anxiety or anxious with that word, because it doesn't create the same response in our brain. And then looking at what you can do to calm that down. So breathing, lots of different breathing techniques, lots of affirmations, just really being in the moment and being as prepared and using that support network around you. A bit long-winded, does that make sense?
Yeah, completely. I think there's some things I can take away from that, definitely. I think languages, obviously I'm not tracking my language, to be honest. I'm not really listening to what I'm saying. Obviously no bad language, but there might be certain words that I could possibly alter and change to something a bit more less scary. So maybe, yeah. And I think there was
that self-awareness, isn't it? And what I do, I mean, I still say things from time to time, but my daughter and I, so she started secondary school on Monday, so she's kind of we've gone through the same thing in our household as well. But we give each other permission to bring attention to the fact that if we notice that we're using a word that maybe isn't as helpful, and we flip it, we reframe it, and actually giving each other permission to do that rather than it seen as a criticism, again, is really empowering for your child as well. And you'll notice it more and more. The more you become aware, you'll notice things in each other.
Oh yeah. I think once she gets going, she's okay. It's just getting started. It's quite a chore, getting them up, getting them dressed, that kind of thing. You're like, come on, we've got to go. Got to look at the time. Come on, we've got to go.
How old are your little ones? Just so that everyone knows.
Almost 5. So started in reception, and then a younger one who's 2.5. So come on. They've both got to go, but in different places. So come on, we've got to go.
So you've got that coordination.
Looking at our clocks. And trying not to be late, really trying hard not to be late. And obviously I guess the stress of hurrying them is just making them more stressed. So I think finding maybe a happy way of doing that. I don't know.
Maybe changing even the routine slightly by doing everything like 10 minutes earlier, so that you kind of set 10 minutes before as the absolute last time, but actually that you've got an extra few minutes. It just takes that pressure off yourself. With knowing that you're actually not going to be late, but they don't necessarily know that.
Yeah, I mean, we left. I thought we were going to be late, and we weren't. So I was like, oh, okay. So we had like about a good 5 minutes to make. So we just about
and
made
you won't
it.
be the only ones. You definitely will not be the only ones.
Yeah, so it was all right, But yeah, it's a new learning experience for me because obviously been doing the nursery and the preschool thing for quite a while, and now all of a sudden this school thing, and that's a complete other world. So I'm learning, and anyone who can tell me something about. I mean, also in the chat, if you want to drop a story of your experience or a bit of advice in the chat, please do. I'm always open to learn. Yeah.
And that's the main thing, isn't it? We're not perfect all the time.
No, oh well, no, definitely not. Yeah, I think the whole parenting thing is a huge learning curve, especially for professionals. People who spend a lot of time working and trying to get to the next level, that kind of thing. Then all of a sudden realizing that actually maybe that doesn't fit with family, and maybe you have to kind of do things slightly differently. It's a whole learning experience, and I'm still learning. I've got a long way to go yet. I'm not there yet. Yeah. So going back to the festival.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to add? Something we haven't talked about? We've got a little bit of time left, so
yeah. Just trying to think what else we're doing. We are actually, one thing I would like to just sort of say to people is one of the things that I say our real mission and our reason why we kind of created this all in the first place was to be able to support children and families, but we're very conscious that families that maybe sort of come from more of the sort of disadvantaged areas, low income families, can really struggle to get access to some of this information. And so we have been able to, we've had some fantastic sponsors, which has been incredible. I'm just going to quickly name them as long as I don't miss anyone out. But we've got Balfour Beatty that have sponsored our cake walk. We've got Nottingham Community Housing Association. We're partnered with Nottinghamshire NCF. And we've got ABL Health. We've got Club Hub UK. And who else have we got? And we've got Mom as well as Positive Pants and Emotions Toolkit and Motorfinity as well. And with all their support, that's been able to enable us to be able to give out some golden tickets to families that are on receipt of free school meals, and that to us just absolutely lights us up. That is why we're doing it all. And if we can reach as many families as possible to get to this festival that can benefit from it, even if they just take away one technique, they've had a great day and they come away with one little idea of who they could reach out to, then we'll be really happy. So I'd just say that if it's something you're interested in, or families like that, or you're with an organisation that works with families, or you're a teacher at a school in the Midlands, then contact us, because we can supply you with tickets that enable the child and their family to go free to the festival. And I just think that's really, really important.
That's brilliant. I think that's really good. Being inclusive as possible and just making sure that kids full stop are able to attend. I think that's a brilliant thing to do, for sure.
We have a big mission for next year. Our mission for next year is that we really see this as being a big community event. And obviously it's ticketed, but it's very reasonably priced for what it is and the content of what's going to be there, and very reasonable price. But we would like to actually be able to give it to free for everybody.
Wow.
So
that'd be amazing.
I'm putting that out there as our mission for next year.
Yeah, so that's lots of sponsors, basically. That's
lots of sponsors that are going to help support make that happen. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Why not? I think that's a good way to go. I think definitely.
We can do it.
So if we're listening, if someone's listening now and they think, I'd really like to go to that event, where do they go?
So you can go to our website, www.positivelymempoweredkids.co.uk, and you can book your tickets on there. And I would really encourage you as well. We've got some great social media going out at the moment, lots of tips as well to help families. So you can follow us on Instagram at Positively Empowered Kids, or our Facebook page. And again, search Positively Empowered Kids or PEK Families. As Trevor's mentioned, is the affectionate abbreviated version of our name, because it's a little bit of a mouthful. But yeah, you can buy tickets there, and you can get them on the day as well if you turn up. And if the golden tickets, message us and just contact us about that.
Check for spelling mistakes, but I had a go.
That's correct.
It looks good to me. There you go. positivelyempoweredkids.co.uk. Type in that link and go to website, and you'll see a button there to purchase tickets. Please do. Also think about not just yourselves. You might have family members who would love to go, who could benefit from a ticket. Could be a cousin, could be a niece, nephew, could be grandchildren that you think, oh, actually, I think they'd like to go.
And the other thing that we are doing as well, which is really helping us, is that we have kindness tickets available.
Oh, that's good.
So if you don't have children yourself, and you don't know any that you want to buy tickets for, you can actually purchase a family ticket, act of kindness, and we will donate that to a family in need.
Brilliant. So I think that's an amazing idea.
You can do.
And is that from the same link?
Yes.
Will they be able to find it there? Perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. It's listed as one of the ticket options.
Brilliant. That sounds amazing. So I can't wait to the event. My kids can't wait to the event. It's not long now. I don't know how many sleeps that is, but it's not long now.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, okay. We've got some other news obviously involved with the festival, but we're going to leave that for today. We'll just focus on the information that we've got here. There's so much to take in. Is there anything you want to add before we wrap up the show for today?
No, I don't think so. I suppose it's just, spread the word, just look after yourselves, self-care, and just having this awareness of how we can help ourselves and everyone around us is really important. And aside from, if you're not going to come to the festival, you can't make it on the day, then that's absolutely fine. But go onto our website, because there are loads and loads of free resources on there that you and your family can use. And just keep an eye out, because, the only reason that this is only the second festival is obviously the pandemic, but it is going to be an annual event that will continue and just get bigger and better. So keep in touch with us. Brilliant.
That's amazing. You have been watching The Secret to Creating Confident Kids. This is a special edition purposely put on for PEK, Positively Empowered Kids Festival, which starts on the 25th of September, so not long now, just around the corner. Please put those dates in your diary, or that date in your diary. I'm going to be there, Claire's going to be there, the rest of the PEK team's going to be there, as well as a host of other amazing stuff. It will be lovely to chat with you there. If you're a business involved in children, we would love to chat with you. If you're a family, just wants to get involved, again, we'd love to chat with you. And I think it's going to be an amazing day. I can't wait. It's going to be brilliant. Thank you. Thank you so much. I would leave the last words for Claire. Last words for you.
Yeah, just all the hard work, and it's going to be absolutely worth it. And when you create an event and a business that's literally from the heart, it's made with love, then, it's all with good intention, and it is going to be amazing. And thank you for your support as well.
Brilliant. Please share this video when it comes out. Obviously, it's live at the moment. I think once it's processed, it will chuck out a replay version, which I will push again. Just share it to anybody and everybody. I want the whole of Nottinghamshire, Leicestershire, Derbyshire to know about this. Anyone who lives locally, or anyone who just wants to go on a road trip, why not come to Nottingham? Yes, definitely. Why not? What else are you going to do on a Sunday? You might as well, So please share it and come along on the event. Support this event. I think it's a really, really important mission. It's something that I think everyone should back. Thank you. I will see you in the next episode. The replay should be out as soon as it processes. Okay, you take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, stick around, Claire, if you can.